So I would get as many features as possible, guys, on these radios. The more features you have, the more self-sufficient you'll be. Be safe. Well, life is good, guys. How often do you get to sit outside, nice cup of coffee, wireless connection, beautiful blue skies, perfect temperature. Gonna just quickly process a video giving all of you guys a shout out for the rapid response to the EDC throwdown challenge. Very impressed with how quick you guys have put together some videos. I looked at a couple of them. They're awesome. The next thing I want to go over real quick is I have some additional radio stuff that I want to talk with all of you guys about. I know some of you might be watching my channel and you're not interested in ham radio, and that's totally fine. I would encourage you to kind of pick and choose what you like, and what you don't like, certainly don't watch. I do focus a little bit on my channel on preparedness and self-reliance, and that's the kind of radios I want to talk about right now. And I want to get this off my plate because I have one radio that is a loaner to me specifically for this video. Actually, it was given to me by the ham radio operator that got me going with amateur radio and helped me get my license. So I want to give her a big shout out. You know who you are. But she has very kindly let me borrow one of her radios specifically for this video. And then I got another radio in the mail from a subscriber, and I want to give him a shout out as well. But tie all that together for a little video on communications for self-preparedness and self-reliance. All right. Okay. Oh, I missed a call from one of my good friends. I have to give him a call. Thomas J. McDonald. He is going to be the new woodworking celebrity on WGBH. What an awesome guy. I'll put a link up above on a video I did talking about Tommy, and I'll put some links down below for any of you guys that are woodworkers. But what an awesome guy, and a real pleasure to be involved with. So give you a call as soon as I can here, Tommy. Anyway, communications I think are really important. And you guys have noticed that I've been sharing my experiences as a ham radio operator. I'm a brand new ham, and boy, is it a lot of fun. And if you're a gear guy, trust me, it's a great hobby. There's lots of cool, inexpensive toys. And you can talk on anything from a big radio in a shack that you have set up in your house to very small portable micro stations that you can take backpacking. You can talk with handy talkies locally or on long distance. You can use the internet for digital communications. You can talk to satellites. My last video, you saw that there was one of the ham radio operators there. His favorite thing is digital communications, and he likes to talk to the birds as they go by, satellites. And you can even talk to the space shuttle. Many of the astronauts are ham radio operators, and there's a ham station on the shuttle. And one of the big feathers in your hat as a ham radio operator is to talk to the astronauts. So a lot of good stuff there. But you know what? If you're not interested in amateur radio, that's cool. Communications is still something vitally important. All of us, pretty much all of us, have a cell phone, and we stay in touch with our family and local network via a cell phone. I'm never without this guy. But let's talk about some other options that you have, especially for those of you guys that are interested in prepping, That's a term I'm kind of new with, but I guess I've been a prepper for a long time because I've always strived to be prepared, and that's something my wife and I work on, and feel like we want to be prepared to take care of ourselves should something happen, natural disaster, etc. So along those lines, communications is a very important tool in your general box of equipment for being prepared. And I'm going to go over with you some radios that I have that I think will be good for you to take a look at. Now these are not CB, they're not ham radios, they are not FRS family radios, and not scanners. And we can get into all of those things on future videos. But these are some radios that give you some options for AM, FM, and world band communication. So if there was a natural disaster, say, and you had no communications and didn't know what was going on in the world or in your local area, having an AM, FM, and world band radio is critical. And that should be something that's in the top 10 list of your prepping equipment. So I'm going to open this up and share this, and I need to get this off my plate because I've got two people that have given me radios. One of them is a subscriber, and I actually thought I was just going to review this radio and send it back to him, and I opened it up, and there was a note in there saying, you know, this is radio for you to keep. So I want to give a big shout out to RSP Diver, and I'll put a link to his channel up above. He's been a long-time subscriber, and he makes great comments, and we've had some private messages back and forth, but thank you very much, my friend. And the radio he sent is a really cool option, so that'll be fun to share with you guys. The other one is a radio that's been on loan to me way too long. I need to get this back to her, but it's the ham radio operator that got me going in amateur radio, and was part of me getting my first, passing my first license, and has encouraged me to extend that license. So you know who you are, so I want to give you a big shout out. But I want to get that radio back to her, so got to get this off my plate. All right, guys, let's take a look inside this box. All right, so this is the radio that RSP Diver sent me, and boy, thank you, my friend. Thank you very much. We'll put that out here. Very cool note here. It says, thanks for getting back to me with your Addy. This radio is now yours to keep, or pass it on if you hate it. Not likely, my friend. Call it a PIF, or a small token of appreciation for the med info and advice. Have a great trip, and say hello to Nut and Fancy and all the guys for me. Best regards, RSP Diver. So on behalf of RSP Diver, to Nut and Fancy, the Nut and Fancy crew, and all the cool guys that were with me out at the TMP All-Star shoot, RSP Diver gives his best. All right, my friend, thanks. I'm going to keep that in the box, and I'm keeping the radio. It's very cool. Anyway, so we'll put that out. I'm going to keep this to go over the stats here, because that's going to be important to talk about. This is the radio that sits in our 72-hour box at home, and my wife, bless her heart, is really into that. And the very first thing, whenever we have power outage and things go down, she's getting out our 72-hour box, and the first thing she does is sets up the AM/FM portable radio so that she can keep up to date with what's going on. All right, this is the radio that my good friend at work, fellow ham, let me borrow. And this is a Grundig world band radio. Has a lot of great features, so we'll put that out on the table. This is my little 72-hour radio for my grab-and-go bag. A little bit smaller, and one that I like quite a bit. I'm going to go over it in detail on a later video, but we'll at least introduce it here. So here's the antenna kit and the radio, and I keep them in lock sack bags. You guys know me, I'm the bag man, and I love these lock sacks. They keep everything waterproof. Well, this radio is you know, you can get online and get this today. Look how small this is. Fits in a shirt pocket, BDU pocket, go bag. This is the small radio that is for sale at CountyComm, and we'll go over that radio here in a minute. And you can get a little plastic box for it. I also got the antenna at CountyComm, and I've modified it a little bit so I can set it up anywhere, and I'll go over that antenna kit in detail later. And in fact, I'm going to order a new antenna kit for myself, and I'm passing this antenna kit on to my friend at work because I've had this radio too long and I want to just give it to her as a little token to say thank you. This antenna works with any radio that has a pull-up antenna, and basically for receiving purposes, any way you can increase that antenna length is going to increase your sensitivity and your ability to pick up remote stations. So adding a long wire onto your antenna is helpful. Stay tuned, because in the future I'm going to be doing a little project video to show you how you can make your own antenna for one of these radios. If you don't want to, I think this antenna cost me $9 or $10 at CountyComm. It's a nice kit, no doubt, but if you want to do it on the cheap for let's say under $4, $5 at the most, stay tuned, we'll have a project on that. Now this radio I've had for a long time. This has been with me well, probably 35 years. It's made by Panasonic. I don't even think you can get it anymore, although I've seen it on the eBay every once in a while. It's a model RF822, and I'll put all this stuff in the notes down below. But this is a totally waterproof radio. Now this has AM, FM, and it also has a weather station. And I used to take this when I was out doing construction, put this in a 5-gallon bucket and carry it around wherever I was working, listen to music, and if I ever wanted to find out what was going on with the weather. All right, this is one of 3 COMMS kits that I have that are all the same. And this one, for those of you guys that are new subscribers, if you haven't already subscribed to Wrangler Barn, check out the link above and head over to his channel ASAP. Subscribe, you won't regret it. Cody is one cool guy, and I've actually had the pleasure of meeting him, spending an afternoon with him in his Wrangler Barn shop. Hands down one of the coolest guys. He gifted this one to me, and once I saw his setup, I realized I had enough equipment at home to make 2 more of these, so I've got 3 of these. But typical of Cody, well done setup. And he turned all of us onto these document bags that you can get at Home Depot. I think because of Cody, the nation supply of these workforce document bags is gone. But you can still get them at Home Depot. I think Husky makes a very similar one for $1 more. But these were, I think, $2, $1.99, and the workforce ones are $3.99. Either way, they're great because it's a nice way to organize equipment. And Cody sent this to me. This is an entire COMMS kit for a family, for a go bag. Let's take a quick look inside there. So this is a charger for a set of FRS radios. We'll talk about FRS radios in the future. But what I wanted to go over today is this little guy. Now this is a little Sony AM/FM radio, and typical of Cody, nothing but the best. These are some battery holders that you can get from CountyComm. They're available elsewhere, but I think most of us are familiar with CountyComm and lithium batteries. And if you want to power this stuff up with the best battery supply, lithium is going to be the way to go. And obviously Cody recognizes the importance of having access to AM/FM radio if there was a disaster. So this is how you're going to find out what's going on by listening to the news if you have no way of communicating. Internet's down, telephone is down, television's down, your cable is down, AM/FM radio. So this is perfect. And of course, Cody is a kindred spirit, and this is packed in a lock-sack bag. All right, guys, let's just take a quick look at these radios. So we already talked about this guy. It's a little bit big and bulky, but one of the features I like about it is totally weather and waterproof. This will be able to handle being submerged up to 3 feet of water. It's got a nice antenna that you can pivot around and help tune in a signal. This radio, in addition to having AM/FM, has the ability to tune in the weather channels. So that's a very important added feature to look at when you're looking for a radio for your 72-hour bag or grab-and-go bag. Having access to the local weather stations is going to be important. So I like this radio quite a bit. I now kind of take good care of it because I don't want it to break. Let's take a look at this radio that RSP Diver sent me. Now, this radio brings in some other features to take a look at that might be useful when you're selecting a radio for your 72-hour kit as well. So it has a nice extendable antenna, and we're going to talk about how to boost that antenna. But this one has a crank. So what happens if you're all set, you've got a great radio, but you don't have batteries, or you used up your supply batteries? This is a good option. Now, another great option on this is this has a solar panel, so it can charge itself as well. So backup power supply is important, and this is a great option for that. Now, this radio also has a small light on it, and it has AM/FM radio as well as the weather bands. So this is a very nice compact option that runs on battery. It has the battery charged by this crank, and you can also charge it by putting it out in the sun. So for a disaster type thing, this radio really meets all of those needs quite well. Okay, so I just want to make sure we cover all the points on this because this is a great little option. So this is the, it's made by Eton, E-T-O-N, and I'll put links down below. This is the Microlink FR160, and when you read the back of the box, it summarizes much better than I just did there. But so this is self-powered AM/FM. It has the NOAA Weather radio on it. We talked about the flashlight. It also has a USB cell phone charger, which is a nice little option. And boy, it's a nice compact little radio. So I think this is a great option for you guys to take a look at. And RSP Diver, thank you, buddy. Appreciate it. All right, let's take a look at this radio. Now, this was, as I mentioned, on loan to me from a good friend, a fellow ham. And this is, if you guys know anything about world band radios, Grundig is a name that has a very solid reputation, and you can find these online at discounted prices, so look around. This particular one is called the Grundig G8 Traveler 2 Digital, and this is an entirely digital world band radio, and it gives you the full, and see on here there's AM, FM, long wave, shortwave radio, so you can listen to, boy, I've listened to stations in South America with this, with the extended antenna at home. This also has a couple of other nice little things. It has a alarm, so if you take this and you're traveling, this is a nice little feature. There's a travel alarm on there, and the little flip down panel, you can select different time zones and add and delete memory function here. So this is a nice little radio that gives you a lot of options. It's powered by AA batteries, and you can also power it by a plug-in wall charger, and there's also a headphone jack. So another good set of options. I think having the ability to listen to world band radio is a good thing as well, especially in a natural disaster. All right, let's take a look at this little guy. As I mentioned, this is from CountyComm, and I can't imagine that there's a subscriber that's watching this that's a gear nut that doesn't know about CountyComm. But if you don't, there'll be a link down below. Check them out. Give your wallet to your wife first, because you can spend a lot of money there on good gear. So this is a radio. This is made by Marathon. I believe it's a Canadian company, but this has AM, FM, and it has shortwave radio, 2 sets of bands for shortwave radio. Another nice thing about this is this radio has a alarm clock as well as a regular digital clock, so you can keep track of time. And this radio also has, where is it? Has a light. So if you needed to quickly find equipment, you know, it's just a small LED, but it actually provides quite a bit of illumination. And that's on AM right now. So this is not digital, this is analog, and you just scan through the bands. So you can select on the back here, there's another little switch here for AM, FM, and the 2 sets of shortwave bands. So this is a great little radio. It's small. I keep this in my 72-hour bag. And this is a great time to segue into the antenna that I also got from CountyComm. So in this lock sack bag, I've got the antenna, and I also have the earphones. And I'll go over this in detail later, but this is my little modified kit that allows me to set this antenna up pretty much anywhere and get it up in the air. We'll talk about that on a later video. And then this is the adapter for the antenna. So the antenna has a small mono plug on the end. You just hook the adapter into that, and what the adapter does is it gives you a nice little clip to hook that onto your radio. Now with that on your radio, you can reel this out, and there's quite a nice long wire that you can hang up on a nail, tie it off to a branch on a tree, and now you've got the ability to pull in some remote stations. Now the nice thing about this, it comes in a nice ABS plastic case and has a nice little reel that you can stow the wire very nicely. So that's a great little option. Okay, now this is a slightly larger version of this. And I can't remember where we got this. We picked it up. It was on sale. It's a nice little radio, but I think now, knowing about this guy, I'd probably replace it with this. Very similar options here. Now this is another radio made by Eton. It's bigger. It has the ability to charge a cell phone. This has a big set of shortwave bands. I think there's, let me see, 8 sets of bands for worldwide shortwave that you can tune in. And this is, again, this is not digital. This one is analog, so you tune it with the dial on the side. It is, like all of these Eton products, has a charger. One other nice thing is it can be powered by a set of AA batteries, and there's the chargeable battery for the crank. Very well made. It also has a light, and let me see if I haven't played with this guy in a while. Okay, there's the light. So that's kind of nice to have if you grab that radio and you need to look for other equipment, and you can also set it to flash. Has a nice antenna that you can augment, as we just showed with that clip-on long wire. So this is a nice little addition as well. On the back you can flip open this waterproof plug, and there's earphone jack, a jack for a wall charger, and there's also a charger here that you can charge a cell phone. So that's a nice little set of options to look at. So in summary, guys, if you're picking a radio for your 72-hour kit, definitely want to have AM, FM. I would strongly encourage you to have the ability to listen to the NOAA weather channels. That way you can keep an idea on what's going on with the local weather during a disaster. A nice but not necessary, but I'm kind of a information nut, so I would encourage you to get a radio that has the ability to tune in shortwave radio from around the world so you can hear what's happening elsewhere. Other nice features, certainly having the ability to charge that battery without electricity, or if you have no extra batteries, that's a great option. And then having a light is great, and the ability to charge a cell phone is certainly a very nice optional feature. Having an earphone jack is a plus, and the ability to plug these into a wall charger, perhaps you've got a generator to charge those batteries, is a nice feature as well.